bought this flyaway and canned some black beans. We are completely out, and I usually keep a pretty good stock in our pantry and also in our freezer. And we have exhausted all of those and are down to having no beans. We actually haven't had any for about a week now. And we have a lot of meals coming up in our menu this week that require black beans, so I definitely need to get them done today. And I thought I would show you how super easy it is to can them, to do it yourself. And there are two main reasons that I do this. And the first one is because we know what's in them. They're not having toxins leached into the food from the can. We're canning them in glass jars, so that's good. No extra seasonings are being added to it, no MSG or anything like that, no nasties. And then the second reason is because they're so inexpensive. Compared to buying them in a can at the store, you could pay $1 or more, especially for organic black beans, and not get as much as you would if you can them yourself. I know there was one time I was making taco soup, I believe, and I opened a can of black beans, and I'm not even kidding, there were no beans. It was just the juice that is in the beans. So I don't know who failed in quality control there, but they definitely did, and it was a huge letdown and a waste of money. And it was shortly after that that I decided we would be canning them ourselves from now on. So you can actually fit, I don't know if they're 14 or 16 ounce cans, but by the time they add the liquid to them, it would take about 3 cans of black beans to equal one of the quart jars that we're canning. So definitely it's cheaper and super easy to do. So come along with me and I will show you just how easy it is, and then you can fill up your pantry with black beans as well. So these are the beans that I bought. I found them, I always buy them from Kroger, and I usually try to stock up when they're on sale. These were on sale for $2.30 a bag. They're just organic dried black beans. They don't have anything else in them other than the organic black beans. And I would love to find these in bulk so that I don't have to pay for a bunch of little bags. These are 1 pound bags. But I haven't, and I've even checked on Amazon and haven't seen them. So if you know of a secret place to buy organic dry beans for cheap, definitely let me know in the comments. But basically I just buy a bunch of bags of them, and I'm going to put them in this big pot and fill it with a splash of vinegar and water. And the reason we're putting vinegar in it is because it helps to break the beans down a little bit so that they're easier on your digestive system. I learned that is a little bit of a Weston Price secret. So I'm just going to open up these bags, put them in here with a splash of vinegar and some water, and let them soak overnight, and then I'll finish the process tomorrow. It's the next day, and I am getting ready to get the beans in their jars. So I've got a couple things going right now, and I'll show you, but for the purpose of time, I won't show you like filling all the jars and cleaning all the jars and all that stuff. I'll just show you like 1 or 2, and then you'll get the idea from there. So right now, I've got my pot of beans that have been soaking all night. And the first thing I'm going to do is rinse out my jars. These are all clean anyway, but we store them in the basement, so just to make sure, get all the dust and stuff out. I'm going to give them a quick rinse and then put them on this towel. And then I'm going to put my beans in a strainer and rinse them, make sure that there aren't any rocks or anything like that hiding in there. And then I will start filling the jars. So here we go. just have it about 3 inches of water that is currently on high, getting ready to boil, and a dash of vinegar because we have well water, and the vinegar will prevent that white residue from being on the jars when we're done. And then the same over here, except for I have rings instead of a tray at the bottom because we don't have a tray for this canner, so we're making do. And these have been sitting for about a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and clamp them onto the jars and put the lids, or the rings, on. Okay, now that I've got all the seals and the rings on, I'm just going to put them in my canner while it's getting ready to boil. I can fit 7 in each canner. So I'm going to finish loading those up. Okay, now that I've got both of the lids on, I'm going to keep these on high until steam comes out of this part. Once I notice steam coming out of this part, then I'll set my timer for 10 minutes and continue to let it steam. Okay, we have steam coming out the top of both of them, so I went ahead and set the timer for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, I'm going to put the weight on the 10-pound mark, like that. I'm going to sit it right on top of there, and I'll bring you back at that point. Okay, my timer has gone off, and I'm going to go ahead and put my weight on at the 10 pounds of pressure and wait for that to start rocking. The other one. And this one I'm not real sure about. We'll see how it goes. Might take a little bit longer to start rocking. Once it starts rocking, I will set the timer. These have to be pressure canned for an hour and 30 minutes. So I will set the timer and then adjust the temperature so that this rocks about 4 times a minute. And I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this one is rocking. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for an hour and 30 minutes. And I may have to set the other timer for the next one because it's not even close to... Oops, too far. Okay. And then I'm going to adjust the heat. And then give it a minute to see if it comes down. It needs to be rocking about 4 times a minute. Okay, we've got the temperature adjusted on this one so that it's rocking and then stopping and then rocking and then stopping. We've got an hour and 9 minutes left to go on this one, and that one is still not rocking. And I'm guessing that it has not sealed, and if it doesn't seal within the next 30 minutes, then we're just going to call it a dud and have to replace the seal in that canner, and we'll try that one again tomorrow in this canner. So you can hear that it's rocking and stopping, and I stopped it on in between the 4 and the 6 is the magic number this time. So that's that. Just gonna, once the timer goes off in an hour and 8 minutes now, I will let this cool completely down. I won't even touch it until tomorrow morning, and then I'll take them out and have black beans that are completely canned and ready to go into the pantry. Okay, so I just opened up a can of beans that I had pressure canned earlier this week, and I thought it would be important to show you that they don't turn to mush when you pressure can them. I know that that could be a concern of some people. It was certainly a concern of mine the first time that I pressure canned them. I did wonder, after soaking them all night long and then pressure canning them, are they going to be mush? And you can see here that they aren't. They're just a normal, completely cooked bean, the way that you would want it to look if you were cooking it without pressure canning it. And they aren't hard either, and I'll show you that by just squeezing it really quick. Come on, focus, focus. Well, there we go. So yeah, perfectly cooked after soaking all night and then being pressure canned. We are actually having these ones with tacos. So yeah, just thought that would be important to show you after going through all the process of pressure canning them and soaking them, and answer any questions that anyone might have. I know to some it's going to seem kind of silly to be canning black beans when they're really not that hard to cook, but for us, especially on the nights that we have dance or youth group or something going on that we have to be out the door in a hurry, it's so nice to be able to just take something out of the pantry and throw it in a pot with some soup and call it dinner, instead of having to worry about, did I soak the beans, do I have an hour and a half to cook them, and all that stuff. So I hope that this video helped you, and anything we can do to make our lives a little easier, especially on busy evenings, is a plus in my book. And if you liked this, then subscribe so you don't miss anything else, and I'll see you in the next video.